So many Leica users out there are diehard fans of the brand. We believe in one system, maybe over the other. Maybe it's the M, maybe it's a Q, maybe it's the SL. And so the beauty of the Leica offerings lies in the mixing and matching of the different camera systems. How convenient for Leica. But many of us prefer one style of photography, but we dabble in others. So you might love street photography, but maybe on the side you also like travel or portrait photography, or maybe you're a commercial photographer with the need for a bunch of interchangeable lenses, but occasionally you want to go out and shoot street photography with a simple minimalistic setup. The use cases and all the options and all the scenarios are kind of endless, but today I want to discuss a few options for your second Leica camera that doesn't necessarily need to be a Leica. I'm going to give you an option for a Leica secondary camera and a non-Leica option as well. So today I'm going to focus on the big three systems, like I mentioned, the SL, the M, and the Q. And my only rules for today, or my only parameters, are I'm going to mention the flagship camera in each system. So the SL will be the SL3, the M, the M11, and the Q, the Q3. And the backup cameras, your Leica and non-Leica backup, will be most likely a used camera, because I want to keep the budget significantly lower, at least like more Leica budget friendly, if that makes sense. So it's not going to be cheap, but it's going to be a lot less than buying two of the camera bodies. I realize today's episode is flawed. I realize it's somewhat ridiculous, but there's a lot of us out there that like to have different options for different things. I'm always thinking through these things because I shoot so many different things, so I thought I'd have a lot of fun with it. So let's start with the iconic Leica M system. The Leica M11 is currently their flagship camera. Many street photographers and reportage shooters out there love this camera, myself included. It's what I use for all my editorial stuff and my personal work. So the best complement for me for the Leica M11 would be a Q2 monochrome. Buying a used monochrome saves you a little bit of money, and it gives you a similar use case as the M would be, but a completely different experience for you black and white shooters out there, but not full-time black and white shooters. It's an entirely different experience. Just talk to any monochrome shooter and they'll talk your head off about it. And they could be a little bit annoying too, let's be honest, but you know, they really believe in it. They'll tell you about the files. I've used the monochrome system. I'm a part believer in it, although I can't fully take the plunge for a dedicated monochrome camera. So I feel like that's the best complementary Leica camera to the Leica M11. I had a close second place here with the SL2 or SL2S. You can make an argument for both because both options open up crossover for your existing M series lenses. You just buy an adapter, and then you could also grow into L series lenses. So if you're using your M camera for like your street and personal work, and you think you might dabble in commercial work, or you might grow into commercial work, that might be a nice option. But the Q2 monochrome one, just because I feel like if your M is your main camera, I feel like a backup camera would probably fit the same use cases. All right, now the best non-Leica option here, many of you would recommend a Fuji here, and nothing against the Fuji, but it's just not my choice as it's too similar of an experience. If you're willing to buy an M11, then you don't necessarily care that much about price. For me, it's an either-or thing, not a both thing, so I didn't include the Fuji. Nothing against the Fuji, it's just not my thing. I would go with a Ricoh GR, whatever model they're at right now. It's a pocketable camera with a fixed lens, and it has a different enough shooting experience, and it won't break the bank at around like $900. You can use it as like your beater camera for rough weather or sketchy areas, or just a camera that you want to have in your pocket. It's a solid camera. For that price, you get a lot. You will save a ton of money going with that camera. Another use case is you can use it as like your monochrome camera. You can set it to one of the filters for black and white and just go out and shoot in black and white. You're not fully committed, but you can see the files in black and white. That's how I use it. Sometimes I take it out, just set it to black and white, and use it sort of as my affordable monochrome. It's like a $900 monochrome. I know it's not the same, but for those of you that are not fully committed to that monochrome experience, it's a nice alternative. And it works as a backup camera to the M11 in a pinch if you're a professional editorial shooter, and it just offers a different enough user experience that sometimes you'll take it out instead of the M11. All right, guys, just a quick moment. I noticed a lot of my audience watch, but you don't necessarily subscribe. If you don't mind taking a second to subscribe, it really does help me out. It really does help out the channel. These things matter. It helps me create new content like this. And if you really like me, consider becoming a member of my channel for the price of buying me a cup of coffee a month. If you think I'm worth it, cool. If not, that's okay as well. You'll get early release content, unique content, and you'll also get, the biggest selling point is you'll get access to our private private online community with weekly photo challenges and much, much more. So if that sounds interesting to you, hit the join button, and thank you for your support. Okay, moving on to the Leica SL3, a camera that I'm very close to pulling the trigger on. I have an SL2S at the moment. This is the most versatile and most professional camera in the Leica lineup, aimed at working professionals for commercial photography and now video shooters as well. So the best Leica compliment here is not a sexy choice, guys, so you're not gonna love this, but I would just say go with an SL2S. That's what I'm using. I intend to upgrade to the SL3 and use the SL2S as my backup. So if you're a pro and you're on assignments, you always need two cameras, it'll cover you in a jam at 24 megapixels most of the time, unless you're shooting like billboard commercial work. And you can find Leica bargains for like under $3,000 compared to buying two SL3s, which will break the bank for many people out there. Or you can just make it your M mount camera with an adapter for M lenses and use it with a fixed M lens for your street photography camera, your everyday camera. Or you can rig that camera out as your, I'm not gonna say it's a great camera, but as a passable video camera. So it's quite versatile. So if you have an SL3, you could use this as your hybrid video camera, you can use it as your backup, you can use it as your dedicated editorial camera if commercial work is your main thing, or you can use it as sort of your street photography camera. You can't focus with a rangefinder because it has that great EVF. You could throw an M lens on it and make a lighter, not the same experience as an M11, but still pretty nice, and use it as your street photography camera. So it's a very versatile choice that can kind of cover you everywhere. So the best non-Leica option, something I invested in recently, is a Panasonic S5 M2X. It's about $2,200 brand new. It's superb for video capabilities with a ton of different options for codecs. It's got solid focus. It's a serviceable 24 megapixel full frame sensor, which will cover you for most jobs. It's part of the L mount alliance, so you can use it with your existing SL lenses, or if you want to invest in some Panasonic glass, or you want to go third party and get some Sigma glass at more affordable prices, you've got a ton of options there. It offers up a whole bunch of different possibilities. Yes, the experience is not going to be the same as your SL3. However, in some cases, it offers better capabilities, if not equal, especially when it comes to video. There's a lot of video-focused options on this camera. This is an incredible option for hybrid shooters. I recently bought one. The way I use it is at home. It's my YouTube camera right here in front of me. It's an expensive YouTube camera, but it's a nice one. I'll use it on commercial shoots. It's a backup camera to my SL2S in case I run into a problem for stills. Soon will be a backup to my SL3. And on hybrid shoots, it'll be my dedicated video camera. So I'll throw my Leica 24-90 on it for sort of run and gun documentary stuff. I'll have it rigged out, and then when I need to shoot stills, I'll shoot with the SL3. And it saves me a lot of money rather than buying two SL3s. Many Leica users forget or scoff at the L mount alliance and Panasonic and Sigma lenses, but there's a lot of great options out there, so don't dismiss it. Check into the Panasonic options. There's a ton out there. I've been using this camera and I absolutely love it. All right, moving on to the Leica Q3. This one was easily the most challenging one for me to figure out because I've used the Q2, I've used the Q3, but I've never had them as a main camera. And a lot of times the people that want a Q3, they kind of want an all-in-one camera that does everything. And it does do that pretty well, except for video. So you could argue that the best backup camera for this camera is no backup because it does everything that you pretty much want. However, for the sake of this exercise and for the sake of having fun, I would say your best option will save you a ton of money. And this is the only case where maybe the Leica option is actually going to be cheaper than the non-Leica option. I would say go get yourself a Leica SL3 2. Odd choice, yes, but hear me out. It's an instant camera, it's affordable, it can sit in your bag, not taking up too much space or weight. And when you shoot something with a Q that you love, also take out the SL3 2 and get a printed shot of it. You can make like a travel journal, you could be crafty with it, have fun with it. The Leica Q is a fun camera, so I would say like double down on the funness and get a SL3 2 and have some fun printing, scrapbooking, or just use it as your gift camera. Like, you shoot street photography, you find someone interesting, you take a portrait of them, and then also take a version with your SL3 2. I did a whole episode on the SL3 2. You can watch it here, but it's a fun camera. The Q's a fun camera, so I think it complements it quite well. Now, for the best non-Leica option, sure, you could just go with like Fuji's instant version, but that wouldn't be fun. So let's consider a few things. The Ricoh would be too similar, and so is the Fuji. These would fall more into the alternative, not complementary category. So for the non-Leica option, I'd say a Q can get you like into photography. A lot of times people get into a Q and then they get into M, and then they get into photography even more. So I would say if you think you might catch the bug, you might want to dabble in some video work, again, consider the Panasonic option. The interchangeability of the L-mount lenses opens up some different options for you. So if you think you're gonna shoot like minimalistically, simple with the Q as your fun camera, but sometimes you wanna get serious, look at all the different options from Panasonic. I'm not gonna give you the whole lineup. They've got all sorts of different options and they're very hyper video focused. So if you think you're gonna grow into video work, to complement your photography or as an alternative to your photography, they've got all sorts of different things. Just go to the website and check it out. And then also you'll save money too because you can couple that with an affordable Sigma zoom lens and you're kind of covered for everything. That could be your sort of workhorse camera or your video camera, and the Q can be like your fun, playful camera. So that's it. That's the full lineup. Listen, guys, I'm not an advocate of buying new cameras for the sake of buying, so only go down these routes if you think one of these options is really offering you something your existing camera doesn't have or do already. Be honest with yourself. If you're in a rut, new cameras don't help. New projects and going out and shooting do. And on that note, for anyone interested in coaching and guidance in their photography, I do teach. I teach online and I absolutely love it. I just revamped my entire online store, Ask Mott by Justin Mott. You can shop my mentorship program for long-term students. You can check out my one-on-one coaching options for short-term students. It's a kick in the butt. It's a way for me to help you in your photography. It's open to all levels. My students range from college students to retirees and everything in between. You don't have to have any experience in photography, or you can be a pro as well. I customize my teaching to each one of my clients. And if you really want an amazing experience, don't forget to check out my Northern Vietnam photography workshop. It is a trip of a lifetime. The food, the photography, the people, the company. No, it's an amazing experience. 5 students only. It's a different type of workshop. It's a very intimate workshop. I am side by side with you through the entire thing, and you're learning and we're working and we're growing and we're having fun, and you're seeing Vietnam through my eyes and also through your camera as well. If you have any questions about any of my products, about my workshops, my coaching, Ask Mott now has live chat. You can chat with me there, ask me questions. I'll do my best to answer them right away. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to have a wonderful day.